Right, my name is Andre Wright. I am a senior kinesiology major. My name is Evan Morcell. I'm a senior, and my major is kinesiology.
Kevin Laguerre, I'm a civil engineering major.
My name is Olivia Bethay. I'm class of 2016, and I'm a double major in government and politics and French language and literature.
My name is Okwayemi Oweye. A lot of people call me Ope, but I'm better known as O-Slice. I'm a sophomore at the University of Maryland.
My mellow Lati was kicking flavors. The Ari Bossy said, yo, Latifa, we can do this. So I paused and took a thought, then...
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do like hip-hop.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
I don't necessarily like a lot of the new stuff that's out. I don't always consider that to be hip-hop. But, like a lot of older rappers or like politically conscious rappers, people like Mos Def, Common, you know, Tupac, people like that, like I can appreciate and I enjoy listening to. I feel as if it's okay.
Okay, can you elaborate?
I wouldn't say that I regularly listen to hip-hop as far as on a weekly basis or a daily basis. I like the byproducts of it being maybe R&B or jazz, neo-soul, things of that nature. But hip-hop as far as rap goes, I'm not a big fan of rap just because of the way I was brought up and raised. I'm a country boy.
Sicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink gators.
I can't say that I do. Honestly, I do feel like it gives off a negative impression, and it's also a negative example, especially because a lot of the listeners are, you know, youth. It's a lot of kids listening to this, so it's like they grow up thinking that this is cool. Like they grow up, you know, trying to, you know, mess with women, do certain things like that they'll talk about in these hip hop songs that they're probably not even, that the actual rapper or, you know, artist probably isn't even doing, but they'll talk about it, and like other people like try to do it and like think that that's what, you know, that's what's cool, that's what's socially acceptable, but I mean, it's not really getting them anywhere. And then you have a lot of people, like for example, like I feel like most of the artists are African American, so a lot of the consumers are not African American. So when they hear stuff like that, a lot of times they get a false idea of how a lot of African American people are, or what they, you know, how they act, black culture in general. And I feel like it gives a false portrayal, I guess, impression of how, you know, black people actually act.
It's the same has been since the early 2000s. The same has been since the early 2000s. Misogynistic. It can be degrading to women. Hip-hop today has become themed mainly on money, drugs, and how much you can spend. There's really no message in music nowadays. The images, they're how you take them. They can be negatively effective to today's youth, but you can make your own choices. So I don't take them as negatively.
I see two sides to hip-hop. There are those who have, you know, the derogatory terms, those who talk negatively upon women. There's a lot of utilization of the B word, as we know. Curse words. Being that I am a Christian man, I try to keep everything that I can, you know, as holistic as possible. But there are also artists like Common, people of that nature who have uplifting music, who can speak the nation. So I think it's all about the perspective and the purpose of what the artists themselves are trying to portray. But to answer your question, I do feel as if hip-hop is often referenced with a negative connotation, but overall it's not a negative genre.
Let it bump though.
I think it greatly influences black culture. As far as the whole women thing, I feel like it definitely attributes to the way that men look at women, and like men actually like feel about women. They don't realize that half the time these artists still have like women in their lives that they do take care of and they do treat with respect, but they just listen to the lyrics and they take that and they run with it and try to live their lives according to that, not knowing that half the time that's just an act. So I feel like it's definitely integrated, but sometimes not in the best ways. And as far as black culture, I feel like it's reflective of black culture. So it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg. Right. So it's like black culture influences hip-hop, and then hip-hop influences black culture, so it's interchangeable.
I think hip-hop definitely plays a part in black culture because it's very popular in black culture, and it provides an unfortunate and a very limited definition of success. So in hip-hop, you definitely see a lot of like designer brands, you definitely see a lot of materialism, and I feel like I said, like that defines success for so much of the black community, and it's unfortunate. It's damaging because there's broader interpretations of success that can be defined more academically and more intellectually than the materialism which constrains the black community that I most often see. I also, to answer the second question you asked, I definitely think it also limits the way blacks are perceived by people outside of their culture. I mean, stereotypes are obviously very real. They're a very real part of our lives, and I definitely feel that hip-hop is always attached to black culture. And I'm not trying to antagonize hip-hop, but it does, because I don't think it's the totality of black culture, but it definitely presents materialism and a slang, materialism versus like something more moral, or slang versus more intellectual conversation, fighting versus being in school or something like that. It almost presents the opposite of what mainstream society considers acceptable, and that becomes the stereotype of the black community.
Okay. So for the first half of your question, I would say that outside of the black race, I believe that it has a negative image. It has a negative impact. People see us as being, ignorant, or they feel as if that we don't have intelligence, we have no couth. Within the race, I feel like it's more of a personal thing. For example, the utilization of the N-word is more so as a term of, not endearment, but it's understood amongst blacks that it's not meant to offend. But from looking outside in, of course, it would appear as if we're insulting one another or making ourselves look stupid.
I